How's it going, everybody? This is Russian Bear Boxing. Today we're doing a top 10 pound for pound boxing list, and appreciate you guys tuning in. Hit that subscribe button and drop a like right there. It really helps out the algorithm to get this video seen. Guys are welcome to comment below your top 10 pound for pound lists. I'm sure there's going to be some people crying on this. I am a boxing instructor, so this is my educated opinion, and yeah, let's get it started. Here we go. So right away at number 10, I have Tank Davis. I like Tank Davis a lot. He's an outstanding boxer. Just has trouble outside of the ring. His resume is really not that great, except for his win over Leo Santa Cruz and Barrios. Ryan Garcia, he's a good fighter, but his record, it kind of speaks for itself. He has Luke Campbell on there. That's really about it. And Tank Davis has a lot of inactivity. So I think he's going to be fighting again, I overheard. And what I liked about Tank Davis is he's a power puncher, but he's also got really good timing and excellent boxing that's underrated. And he timed Garcia very nicely, opened him up, put him on the canvas. So I got Tank Davis. At number 9, the Mexican monster, David Benavidez. I would like to have David higher. And he does dominate a lot of these fights, and he does have a really good resume. Yeah, Demetrius Andrade, he really showed who's the boss against Andrade. That was, I think he waited too long, or maybe nobody just wanted to give him a fight to get higher in the ranks and get bigger price names, but he wanted to fight Canelo, and he finally proved his point against Demetrius Andrade. Took care of business with that. Yeah, I really like David Benavidez. He's Triple G's former sparring partner, and this guy's been working his ass off in boxing since he was a young kid. I would like to put him higher, but I'll show you my other picks as to why they're higher. But David's going to be moving up the list. He's always been a great fighter. He fights a little bit square, but I think since he's a pressure fighter, he can get away with that. And yeah, he's got a great resume too. It's decent. So let's keep moving. At number 8, we have Devin the Dream Haney. I know some people are going to be crying already that he should be higher, but I would say that up until Lomachenko, Devin Haney has kind of had a lackluster performance in his career, and probably the easiest route to undisputed besides Lomachenko. He did really fight nicely against Regis Prograis, though. That was a great fight of his punch selection and accuracy and fight pace. So I think he got a lot better. He's been doing good. He should have been at that weight. And let's be real, let's be serious. He lost to Lomachenko. Everybody knows this. Even the airport guy, after the fight, said Lomachenko won the fight. So he got worked by Lomachenko, absolutely dominated. He did have some nice body punches down to slow a bit of Lomachenko's progress, but really, he just got opened up like a can. So I have Devin at number 10. I'm sure Devin is going to go on to do some more great things. Won the WBC championship. He'll probably never give Lomachenko a rematch, but let's be serious. Everybody knows he lost to Lomachenko. At number 7 is our boy Vasily Lomachenko. And right away, I can hear people crying how he shouldn't even be on the top pound for pound list. But if you know anything about athleticism and boxing, you know that this guy is a freak of nature. And he'll be on the pound for pound list, well after he's retired. This guy is unbelievable. Let's right away just get into the controversy and dismantle everybody's emotional talking points. Okay, against Orlando Salido, there was counted 41 low blows against one of the well-known, most corrupt refs in the business. That should be a win on his career. Went on to become a champion, tied the record for third fight as a champion, dominated Gary Russell Jr., went on to clean up everything. Let's talk about the Teofimo Lopez. Anybody thinks who Teofimo Lopez beat Lomachenko cleanly clearly has not watched Lomachenko fights or his amateur career. I've never watched an entire Lomachenko fight where he hasn't thrown a punch for 6 rounds, which clearly tells you he was fighting with a shoulder injury the entire fight. Waited to the 5th or 6th or 7th round to finally use his other arm. That fight should have been a rule, a draw, and when he did decide to fight, he was utterly snapping Lopez's head back with jabs all night long. And we saw that Lopez got knocked down and beaten by Camboso, so that should tell you everything. If it was Lomachenko that was healthy fighting Lopez, it would have been an easy win. But of course, I blame that on Vasily Lomachenko. He should have postponed that fight and gotten shoulder injury, but his claim was it was during the pandemic, and I might have never gotten that shot as a title again. So I can see both talking points. And obviously, everybody knows the Devin Haney fight. He dominated Haney. And boxing is absolutely the most corrupt sport in the world. So they were going to give the young fighter the nod, and Lomachenko ruined that guy's legacy. Boxing is absolutely disgusting, so that's unfortunate. But Lomachenko, if these were actually labeled green, which they should be, he'd be rated number 1. These should be all wins, but of course, boxing is corrupt. Let's go on to, let's see. At number 6, we have Mr. Canelo Alvarez. I know people want him higher, which because he is the undisputed champion at super middleweight. But he did get beaten by Bivol, and he's lately been falling off a little bit. Given he did have a nice performance against Jermell Charlo, showed him who's boss. But he fought a John Ryder who's, doesn't have the greatest boxing skill. Fought a 41-year-old Gennady Golovkin. Lost to Dmitry Bivol. Had a great performance against Caleb Plant. That was all the way back in 2021, and showed Billy Joe Saunders a boxing education in the ring. And, these names... He fought Kovalev when Kovalev was drinking vodka and looking for a payday to cash out. It's been up or down for him, and everybody knows he lost to Gennady Golovkin back in 2017 in their first fight. Their second performance was questionable. So, you know what? I have really always questioned Canelo's career. He is an outstanding fighter, though, and he jumped multiple weight divisions, so you got to always have him on the top 5 or top 3 or top 10 regardless. That's just where I have him today. And number 6, I really want to see him fight again, and I'm so glad he fought against Charlo. That was a fun fight build-up. And Charlo has since fallen from grace. All right, let's keep going. At number 5, I have our man. It is Dmitry Bivol, and this guy is just a workhorse, man. Yep, he beat Alvarez. That's why I have him over Alvarez. His record is pretty outstanding. Jean Pascal, Isaac Chilemba, Barrera, good names. Obviously, he beat Alvarez. That's how he got on the map. And just about has some of the finest Soviet pendulum in the sport. Yep, and everybody wants to see Dmitry versus Artur Beterbiev, and that'll tell us who is the king of the light heavyweight division. We also have Alexander Gvozdyk, up and coming again out of retirement. He's doing well. And Bivol, that's number 5 pick. Let's go to our number 4, Inoue, the monster. The first and only undisputed super bantamweight world champion. Yeah, this guy's just a beast, man. I don't really think he has... His resume is not as great as those other guys, but in terms of just sheer performance and his accomplishments and just his punching power and just his boxing fundamentals is all hitting on all cylinders. Everybody thought the Stephen Fulton fight was going to be a lot closer, and he just absolutely dominated that guy. Did have fight Donaire with a broken orbital bone, powered through that. I believe that was a Donaire fight. No, it was the first one, yeah. Beat him in a rematch. And that was his only questionable thing, was when he fought Donaire. And Donaire was like near retirement then. So that's my only questioning of why I would want to bring Inoue lower. Other than that, the guy's doing great, man. Got to give him top 3, top 5, you know. First Japanese fighter like that to do something like that, so give it up for him. Number 3, Alexander Usyk, who is about to go for a huge, undisputed heavyweight champion, which has not been had in boxing since 24 years ago. So, yep, cleaned out the cruiserweight division, and now he's pretty much cleaning out heavyweights. Has one man left, the Gypsy King. This is going to be a good fight. A lot of people say it can go either way. And since the last performance of, getting knocked down by Ngannou is not looking too good. Even before that fight happened, I have said and told my friends that Usyk is winning this fight against Fury. It's just my prediction. We'll see what happens. I don't think Fury has ever been in the ring with a Soviet-based pendulum boxer. Fury is going to use a lot of his boxing herky-jerky, odd timing, and he's gonna lean on Usyk, try to, exhaust him. So it should be an interesting fight. Can't say enough about Usyk. He's the man. Dominated Joshua, brought him to boxing school. Yeah, he is a fantastic talent. And Usyk is a funny guy. He's great. At number 2, we got Terence Crawford. Yeah, this guy is just a scary individual, much like Beterbiev. He is definitely just kind of, taking care of business. The last 11 wins were all stoppages. He dominated Errol Spence Jr., but there's been a lot of people coming out to say that Errol Spence Jr., there's something wrong with him, degenerative nerve injuries from his car accident. And you know what? I might have to agree, but I also read that when people are watching his interviews, like watch his speech, it's really bad. And I also saw that he did break his jaw and lose some teeth. He had to learn how to speak again, certain things. So I think that's why his speech is slowed. And that sounds like a decent reason as to why, but also saying he had degenerative brain damage and nerve damage. So, and he honestly did not look himself against Crawford. So I don't know what's going on there, but Crawford definitely dominated this guy, who was the other best fighter in the welterweight division. I do have to say, though, Crawford did look questionable against Velasquez. Velasquez was really outboxing him. So that's sometimes why I generally think that maybe somebody like Beterbiev, bivol, Usyk, Canelo, or Lomachenko should be at number 1 or Inoue instead of Crawford. But, Crawford's been dominating the sport. I honestly think people will try to avoid him. I don't know. I heard that he wants to fight Canelo now. So, and I don't know. It did feel like Errol Spence was did not look himself anymore, and Crawford did not look great against Velasquez, and even though he did stop him in the 9th round. So I'm always questionable on Crawford, but Crawford is probably one of the best switch hitters, orthodox to southpaw fighters ever in the sport. He's amazing. He's one of the most gifted athletes. I've seen him dead squatting, deadlifting 400 pounds, wrestling, Kazakh boxers in the gym. Dude is strong. He's just a natural athlete. But this list is subject to change. And my number 1 is Artur Beterbiev. Yeah, he's this guy, he's been underrated since he's got into boxing. 20 and 20, 100% KO ratio. Enough said. Just an absolute scary individual. Just completely just pretty much ended Callum Smith's boxing career. Pretty much put Anthony Yard into the shadow realm. Likewise for Joe Smith Jr. Put Marcus Brown into the shadow realm. Had the title fight against Alexander Gvozdyk, who I'm sure he's fought in the amateurs. Really, really good boxer. Probably the other best light heavyweight in the division besides Bivol and Beterbiev. This guy is just a wrecking ball, man. And just because of his body of work, and he's like the absolute most dominant fighter in terms of KO ratio. You know, obviously we like pretty boxing. Crawford is a pretty boxer. Bivol is, you know, Alvarez, Lomachenko. And I think that's why most people put those people higher on their boxing lists than others. But this guy could be easily rated number one just because he is like the Khabib of boxing. Khabib was the most dominant UFC champion ever. Barely lost a round in a fight. And this guy's the same. So that's Beterbiev. And yeah, I think the fight has been signed, actually, a deal between Bivol and Beterbiev. So we shall see. Let me also touch on another topic. The BoxRec top 10 is absolutely just an abomination. I have no idea how they can have Chris Eubank Jr. Up here over, you know, Charlo or янибeк. I mean, come on, this guy Eubank, he's a washed fighter, man. And just some of their other algorithms just appalling. Like the pound for pound list, like Usyk Foster. Like, what has this guy done on his record? He's got 2 losses. Who are these names? It's like nobody. How is this guy rated at number 11 over Usyk and Teofimo Lopez and Lomachenko? I don't see it, man. These are just supposedly these are computer algorithms rating this. Davis is inactive, really. This is just horrible rankings, really. Some of it, you know, is accurate to mine. Some of it's different. But I did not have Devin Haney at number 5. Losing to Lomachenko like that, looking like he got dominated. Yeah, just some random names on here. Jesse Rodriguez is good. Shakur Stevenson, you know, this guy is, I don't know, man. His last performance against Dos Santos was like, you know, sharp boxing with jabs and ring IQ, but God, it was a really boring performance, man. Yeah, I was never really a fan of the BoxRec rankings. Ring Magazine, they're all right. I don't know. They change every now and then, but the BoxRec rankings they're odd. And yeah, a lot of people were asking me why I don't have Teofimo Lopez up there. You know, I don't. He barely got a draw against Lomachenko. Barely. Fighting a one-armed Lomachenko, you know, pretty much looked terrible against Sandor Martin, lost to Kambosos. You know, those are the reasons why I don't have him on my top 10. There you go. Yeah, I wouldn't even have. I questioned Tank Davis on my list, but you know, Devin Haney, no, that's number 7, definitely not. Errol Spence, you can keep him up there, but I don't know, man. He's a shell of himself. And yeah, these are okay. Top 3. I can see Usyk at number 3. And I actually wanted to put Usyk higher, but I got to see what he does against Fury. And there you go. That is my boxing top pound for pound list. Comment below. Russian Bear Boxing. Subscribe.